Good afternoon, folks. How is everyone? As always, I hope you're doing well. You know you're my people, and I love you. I want you to be the big three, my friends. I want you healthy, I want you happy, I want you safe. You know what I want from me? Thumbs up, thumbs down, like, share, remind, leave a comment. Works. Today we're taking a look at the other Scorpion-Venom. This is the Imperial IPA. This comes in at 8.8. Scorpion-Venom, Imperial IPA, 8.8. You know, we did the other one, and I gave it fair marks because it's a fair representation of what it is, but it wasn't particularly that interesting to me. Now, to be fair, not a huge IPA guy. There's some that I like, but not usually my go-to. So, let's see what the interwebs has to tell us. Scorpion-Venom Imperial IPA. This is from their page. Out where the Sonoran sun scorches the earth and the saguaros stand sentinel over the Badlands, Scorpion-Venom Imperial IPA hits like a summer monsoon. That's our rainy season. This is a beer as wild and untamed as the desert that inspired it. So raise your glass and get stung responsibly. Now this says 8.6 for the ABV, 43 for the IBUs, with a suggested pour of 12 ounces, but don't tell me what to do. You're not my supervisor. Okay. Well, let's see. They already got their ABVs wrong. Let's see what the IBUs are actually like to us, and we'll go from there. It doesn't give us much for ingredients. So, we shall find out. IPA glass, IPA beer, IPA lot when I drink a lot of beer. Yeah, I know, but I'm old. I can make dad jokes, dudes. Get over it. That's a beautiful white creamy head. Look how gorgeous that is. That is a pretty, pretty beer. It's a really nice golden orange color. Call it a 10. Give you a look. Nice, frothy, smooth. It's a good looking head. Let's get a temp. So I shot this last week, and it started at 50, and I wasn't super impressed with it. So then I opened another can, and I shot that at 40-something. I don't like to drink heavy IBU beers, man. But we are in the right range. We are at 43.5. So I will say, I'm starting off here correctly. She was up in the 50s and the 60s. She really didn't do much for us. So I kind of thought that she really did need it to come down in the temps. 43 sounds about right. Get that nose in there, see what's going on. It's Biden time. Nice, little citrusy. Not pulling any pine, which is a blessing. I wouldn't say she's juicy citrusy. I'm just saying there's some citrus in there, though. Oh. Yeah, a little bit of pine on the back end. All right, slip of the tongue. Salud, my friends. Bitter. Interesting mouthfeel. Soft palate, intradental's tongue, bugles, tongue, and then down into the sublinguals. Just wrapped around the tongue and dropped into the sublinguals. Interesting. Lacing fans, that could be like a swan. I have no idea what that is, or that, or weird ass looking slingshot. I've discovered that when I do that and I do it on the white side of the wall, you guys can't see what I'm talking about. So I'm looking at the far end, which is closest to you. That's a weird ass slingshot. Don't know. There's that like swan or crane with a really long neck. and some other weird shit. What I got for you. Let's give it a go. It got a very heavy taste, a very heavy flavor profile, but there's nothing really distinctive in there. So she comes in hard. It's gonna sound like a friggin' porn movie now. So she comes in hard. The mouthfeel is there. It's full. It's brutal. Well, brutal might not be the word, but it's definitely not smooth. So it's rougher than that. I can't delineate any flavors through here. There is some pine on the back. There is some bitterness on the back. What'd they say, 48? Yeah, I'd say 48.50 sounds about right, because I'm not a big IBU fan, and this is pretty much tops out. Now, there are other beers with higher IBUs that are crafted to kind of mask that. I tend to like those better, but it is what it is. We're looking at temperature-wise. Started at 41.5, we're at 47.3. Well, that's kind of weird looking. Sorry, that's kind of weird looking. As is that, and that, I don't know. My Rorschach just isn't hitting today. Slip of the tongue. Okay, so the mouthfeel hasn't really shifted that much. Nothing wet sublingual this time. Just sped up a little and hit the back of the throat harder. Wonderful. Yeah, so there's pine in there, but it's not oppressive. It's mixed in with, I had citrus on the nose, but I can't pull a distinct citrus flavor out. Again, it's heavy and dank. I know that's what the Scooby-Doo kids, Shaggy and them, they like to use that word a lot. Dank, man. But it is. It is what it is. I don't know. We're going to pause. I'll do a little more research, see what I can dig up. We'll come back and look at her at about 53, and we'll call it a day there so I can shoot the short. All right? Be back in a minute. Get over it. Flock of Seagulls had some really good songs. You're old enough. And you like Power Pop. Guy did give Donald Trump his hairstyle, so it is what it is. So I even went to Grok. The specific hop varieties used in Phoenix Beer Company's Scorpion-Venom Imperial IPAs are not publicly disclosed by the brewery, which we know because they didn't put them on their webpage, but I just thought that was laziness. The official Phoenix Beer Company page for the beer, a Safeway Albertsons collaboration, only lists it as an 8.8 ABV Imperial IPA with no other ingredients, hop bill, IBU, or flavors provided. That's not true. They told us the IBUs were 48. Why I'm not sweating Terminators. Their other IPAs often name hops explicitly. For example, Cascade and Centennial for their flagship IPA, Huel Melon and Pacific Gem for another, Simcoe and Idaho 7 for North Rim, but Scorpion Venom does not. Untapped lists it as simply Untapped. User reviews and check-in describe it as a classic West Coast style. The problem with that is this is the Imperial and not the West Coast. So, thanks for trying their computer. Figured we'd look. The hell we got to lose. Anyway, close enough for government cheese. We're currently sitting at 57, right where we want it to be. Sometimes the gods favor us. Let's get that nose in there, see what's going on. Because I normalized, homogenized, and swirl arounderized, we will not be looking at any lacing because I done wiped it off. My apologies. Biden time. The nose is lightened up and has gotten less dank. I'm still not able to pull anything out of here, which isn't a big surprise because their last one where they double dry hopped it and they dunked some this in there and maybe the brewmeister swirled his in there too. It all just kind of incorporated together, conglomerated, and they couldn't pull that apart either. So, Skal. All right, we're done with this beer. Mouthfeel is shifted now. It is all just soft palate straight to the back where it bitters up. Again, she's around 50. So 48 seems about right. So this is pretty much a standard IPA from the non-piney varieties. While I was drinking this, I was starting to think that this might edge a little more towards like Black Butte, even though that's a porter. For some reason that popped into my head, so take it for what it's worth. Is what it is. Incidentally, we picked up a new follower whose name I don't remember because I didn't do the research for that before I came on. Sorry, welcome aboard. D-Man312 joined us like 2 weeks ago and I forgot to shout him out. What up, D-Man? I think it's D-Man312. Don't shoot me, I'm old, I don't remember shit. The new guy joined on BitChute, I don't remember what his handle was, and then somebody chimed in to tell me that drinking any alcohol can cause brain damage and memory loss and yada yada yada. Okay, thanks for the information, but to be perfectly honest, the only thing easier to buy than a politician is a research scientist looking for grant funding. So just throwing that out there. Is this good for the style? Well, no. Getting ahead of ourselves. Would I buy this again? No. Drink it again? No. Try it on tap? We celebrate diversity here. There's nothing we won't tap. Handed this to me out of the cooler, I'd hand it back to you. I don't like this beer very much. It's just not interesting. It's just not my style. Anyway, again, I'm kind of like a lager guy. I know, but the fact of the matter is, lagers are delicious. Speaking of which, if I can figure out how to do it, I might go live Friday around, I guess, like noonish, more or less, 1 o'clock maybe, with Agave Ed, and we're going to take a look at Harlan Brewing Company's Japanese rice lager, which I've done in the past and like. I figure we'll turn that on and start opening up his palate. So if I can figure out how to do that, we'll drop a video ahead of time Friday morning and let you know. Keep your ears open. Is it good for the style? It's okay for the style. It's not a horrible beer. It's better than a lot of IPAs I've imbibed, so an easy 4 1/4. Flavor profile doesn't really exist. There's nothing there to separate out. It just is the flavor of what it is. That's not a detractable point. It's just what it is. That being said, it's not overly bitter. Again, tops out for me. So again, it's about a 48 or a 50. There's no flavor progression. There's nothing super interesting going on. It's 8.8%, and I'm not a huge ABV guy. But that being said, it is what it is. And so for a high octane IPA, if that's what you're looking for, and you like IPAs, there are people that do, this works. So I really have, other than the fact that the flavor profile doesn't do anything for me and they don't tell me what's in it. Going on like mad lately, man. Ben Davidson would tell you it's because our magnetosphere is collapsing and people's electrochemical computers are fritzing out. I fear he is correct. Yeah, so it's the only thing I can really take points off for. I mean, other than that, the beer's fine. It works. It's just not anything that's going to bowl you over. And not my beer. I didn't brew it. So I think we gave the other one a 4.5 or a 4.75. This one's about the same. These aren't great beers by any stretch of the imagination, but there's nothing I can really knock them for. Get what you pay for. All right, thanks for coming by. Putting some eyeballs on. You are my people, and I love you. I want you to be the big three. I want you healthy, happy, safe, honorable, dutiful, vigilant, gray man, henceforth, hot and handy. Hot and handy comes with its own laundry list of responsibilities. Please be responsible. I think that's everything. I don't have a hell of a lot more to say, which I know is amazing, but when I shot this video last week after drinking the other one, it was 34 minutes long. So I said, you know what? Yeah, we'll reshoot. It's too friggin' long. So, thanks for coming by, putting eyeballs on. I will catch you on the next one. Till then, my friends, Skal. Yeah, nothing special.